All right, guys, we're going to go over measuring segments from 1.2. All right, so the idea here is we've done a little bit on the check your understanding after the collaborative learning task. Let's go over a few definitions and things that we would have kind of been talking about at the boards, formally define them here, and then use them to help us answer some questions about some of these segments. All right, so the distance between 2 points A and B can be written as the length of segment AB. All right, so whenever you see that kind of bar over those two letters, that tells you it is naming the segment. And then, or if you just write AB without that bar on top, this is saying that it's measuring the actual length of that segment. So not something we're going to be super picky about, but I do want to help you guys understand the difference between when you write it and when you don't. Right? So for example, if we're measuring this segment AB, you'll notice this AB does not have that bar across the top. So if we count from -1 to 3, that's going to be a distance of 4 units. Okay, if the length of segment AB is equal to the length of segment CD, then these segments are said to be congruent. This can be written as segment AB is congruent to segment CD. All right. And finally, something you guys probably already knew, but we'll kind of formalize it here, define it here. If A and B and C are collinear points, so they're on the same line, and point B is between those points A and C, then the length of segment AB plus the length of segment BC is equal to the length of segment AC. All right? Okay, let's use kind of all three of those to help us figure out some of these questions. All right, so first we're going to use this diagram to answer two questions. So I'll start with this first one where PQ, all right, segment PQ is equal to 9 units. So I'm going to put 9 units here for segment PQ. Segment QR is 28 units. Let me change colors here. So segment QR is 28 units, and we are trying to find the length of segment PR, all right, which in this case is going to be adding those two together, right? Because we're saying segment PQ, the length of that, plus the length of segment QR is equal to the length of segment PR. So adding those together, you get 9 plus 28, which is going to be equal to 37 units. So PR, the length of that segment, is 37. Okay, let's do another question. This time I'll write these numbers below. Segment QR, right, is 17. So 17 for QR. But this time they're giving us PR, which is the whole thing, right? The whole thing is 21 units. And they're asking us to find, I'll use a different color here. Let's use purple. They're asking us to find segment PQ, the length of that one. So using the same definition from earlier, we have segment PQ plus the length of segment QR equals the length of segment PR. Filling in the information that we know this is 17. We know this length of segment PR is 21. So we can use algebra to find that missing segment length PQ. All right, and hopefully you see the length of segment PQ must be 4 units. All right, now I'm going to skip 3 through 6 because I'm not going to measure them with a ruler on this. It's not going to be very helpful, so I'll let you guys practice that in class using a ruler. Let's move to these last two. All right, so with this next question, we are looking at segment BD. So this whole thing is going to be 7x minus 10. Segment BC, the length of that one, so this one right here, is 4x minus 29. And segment CD, the length of that segment, is going to be 5x minus 9. So using our definition from before, we should say that the length of segment BC plus the length of segment CD is equal to the length of segment BD. All right. So now I'm going to put in the stuff that we know. We know segment BC is 4x minus 29 plus segment CD is 5x minus 9 equal to segment BD. All of that is the same as 7x minus 10. From here, it becomes very much an algebra question. We're going to combine like terms on the left side. 4x plus 5x is 9x. Negative 29 plus negative 9 is negative 38. And that's equal to 7x minus 10. Let's move over the 7x with subtraction. And that will leave us with 2x minus 38 equals negative 10. Move over the negative 38 with addition. And now we have 2x equals positive 28, or x equals 14. And you'll notice there's a space here to write x equals 14. Now, that's not everything we need to do, because we need to find each value, so we need to find the lengths of each of these three segments. So I'll do a little work here for BC first. BC was the same as 4x minus 29, so I'm going to plug in 14 where it says x. 4 times 14, right, when you multiply that, that's going to give you 56. And we subtract 29, that's going to give you 27 units. So length of segment BC is 27 units. Let's do the same thing for segment CD, which is equal to 5x minus 9, plugging in 14 where it says x. That gives us 5 times 14, which is 70, minus 9, which is 61 units. And last but not least, I'll do segment BD over here, which is 7x minus 10, replacing that x with 14. 14 times 7 is going to be 98. 98 minus 10 is 88 units. All right, so those are the three different segment lengths for this. Let me fill in that last one there. So that's 88. And you'll notice we have x is 14, which gave us all three of those. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll be finished. So in this case, we're asked to find segment length, the length of segment AB, but we're given some information here. First thing I notice is that it says the segments BD and BC are congruent. So BD and BC are going to be congruent. So I put those little tick marks there to show you that they are congruent. And they're telling us that BD is 5x minus 26 and BC is 2x plus 1. So since they are congruent, I'm going to set those equal to each other, those lengths, and that will help us find that x value. So I'm going to subtract 2x to get 3x minus 26 equals 1. Moving over the 26 with addition, that's going to give us 3x equals 27, or x equals 3. Now again, that's not like what the answer is. I'm trying to use all this information to find the length of segment AB. All right, but since I now know that x is 3, I can actually find the length of segment BC, which is going to be the same as 2x plus 1, replace that 3 for x, which is going to be 7. So this is now 7. And if I know that the entire thing, right, the entire thing here is going to be 43, I can find that unknown length of segment AB using something from earlier. So segment AB plus segment BC has to be the same as segment AC in total. So segment AB is what we're solving for. We don't know. Segment BC we just found is 7. Segment AC is going to be 43. So using a simple subtraction, 43 minus 37 is 36 units. All right, which is incorrect. What did I do wrong, Douglas? Oh, man, you're probably screaming at the TV there. See, everyone makes mistakes. 27 divided by 3 is not 3. Good try. Sorry about that. I apologize. Bit distracted from my children. Try to ignore them. So this is actually going to make this become let's see, 19, which changes my answer, which is going to be 43 minus 19, which makes more sense in terms of that's what I was expecting to get, which is 24 units. Sorry about that, but we got it in the end. And ultimately, you can hear my children screaming at each other. So hopefully you can pause this and work on your homework.